Welcome to the doghouse. Hope you're all having a great day. I know my new year is great, and I plan on keeping it that way. I know people out there hate positivity, but it's the way it is. Now, yeah, I'm going to get a little negative here. No biggie. But this is going to be about comments people leave about Otter Creek on my site and others. This is interesting how many trolls, how many uninformed people there are out there. None of us is 100% informed, but there's some out there worse than others. Now, like on my channel, and I've been laughing all morning about this one. There's this guy out there that thinks he knows everything and is trying to be opposite of whatever I put on there, which is fine. This was a comment I did a long time ago, but today, for some reason, he's decided, or she, I don't know what it is, and don't really care. But it's been so funny. He'll say something, and you can counter it with something, and then he'll say it's wrong or whatever. An example of that is he was saying something about the child in Otter Creek. Well, all well and fine. He's not showing no pictures or nothing, so that's okay. But he was insinuating me and other people didn't know what good parents were. This is where you can show that he has no clue in life. I am from a family of 10 kids. My dad had two others before he married my mom. Okay, out of that, if my ideas is bad, let's see, I was raised, and out of all 12 kids, none of us has ever been to prison. A couple have been arrested and put in jail a day or two, but that's it. Nobody in my siblings has ever gone to jail or prison. I've never been arrested, and all this comes from how we was parenting. We didn't have a lot at times because that many kids, you kind of get shortchanged on the ranch. That helped, and that's where I grew up. Was on a couple of ranches, and there's things out there that all of us don't like to see, but it is out there. But this guy was so, and I loved it, even though it was something made a while back. I loved it because he does show his ignorance. And I love it when people get on here and do that. I know some get upset about it, but I love it because of the things he was saying. He's out, another thing he was out there saying was the fact that who started this and what was going on, which was opposite of what is going on. But I see he never mentioned the signs or who's the expert said it was this other guy's signs, not Lynette's. I wonder why that don't come up anymore. You have any idea why? But he didn't come close to mention that. He did a lot with that child. So shame on him for going out there and lying about that child. He's insinuating the shed was all filthy and dirty and all this stuff. How would he know? He was never in there. I've never been in there. Most people on here has never stepped foot in that place. So how would any of us know? Oh yeah, he's going with a certain person's narrative in town. That's what it really is. He ain't got a clue. Or her. I have no idea. I didn't even look. but he kept saying stupid stuff like that. Okay. And this isn't, like I said, I think it was funny, and I left him on here. I didn't block him. I just thought it was so funny. Some of the stuff he was saying was 100% what this guy has been putting out there. But this guy also said he does research and all that. Obviously, he didn't. And he said, read the whole thing. Well, obviously, he didn't. So that's why I got to laugh at it. And like I said, I understand some people get annoyed when this happens. But in this case, he wasn't being, well, rude he was, but he wasn't out there being ignorant, which was good. I don't mind somebody having the opposite opinion of me at all. Just don't be ignorant and rude, you know. There's no need for that on anybody. But yeah, I know I've gotten rude comments, and I don't get as much as most people do because I do mostly shorts. So, and I get some on there too, but not a lot. But when these guys come on here, and I accuse him of being a troll. This one, he says he wasn't, but just his verbiage would say different. But when you look at the overall picture, I'm not, like I said, I'm least amount getting criticized. Others get criticized a whole lot more than me who have done the research and gets the blunt end of everything. Now, another thing out there, some things I've just read on here, and you know, I've gone to several, whole bunch of sites really this morning. You know, I think everybody woke up with a hangover with the negative attitudes they have out there this morning. Well, and a couple of things on my other one, on my shorts. One of them, he's saying, I don't quite remember, I'd have to go back and look, that I'm in my doghouse. And, oh, it was over a parody I put out yesterday or the day before, I don't remember, but a parody I put out, and this wasn't on the shorts, but on that parody I put out, he had no clue what it was. He accused me in the doghouse, my wife wouldn't let me in, old man, which people, old man is a badge of honor, not anything but. So get that out of your head. I don't know where they get that, like they're not going to be old one day. We don't live in the Mork and Mindy syndrome. But telling me, old man, and go get a job. I'm retired. You know, I'm retired. I don't need a job. Not that I don't go out and help other people or do stuff for myself. That I definitely do. But I had to call him a dumbass and tell him that it was a parody because obviously he wasn't able to comprehend that. But, you know, a lot of people put parodies out, like them or not, they're there. So, you know, for whatever reason, he made it seem like I was doing this for real. Yeah, what an idiot. Yeah, I'll call people names if they call me names. We used to play a game in school because of the bus ride. See who could insult the others. You know who they wanted to go up against all the time and insulting people was me. So I know how to insult if you want to go down that road. And I prove it to a few people on here when they've gotten ignorant. I don't like to, but obviously I can. Like I said, I don't mind people with different opinions than me, or even on other sites. I don't necessarily agree with everything, but that's all well and fine. And this morning, there's all over. YouTube's a bunch of haters out there. Another one I got a laugh at, and it was on a short. I says a bully hates himself. This lady, she's made a few comments even on here and other spots I have on here. She made a comment over the bullies hate themselves, that I didn't know what I was talking about and all that. She went on just a little bit. Then I had to respond, in kind. All I did was say, thanks for your comment. You're showing me who is the bully and hater. You know, wasn't mean with her, but I just wanted her to know because of what she wrote proved what a bully and a hater does. And I thanked her for it. Now, I've seen other people on here like Ray and Dave and Lisa and Laura, Tori and Guapo. They have a whole bunch more hate than I do. And I see it and I don't like it. I go on other sites here too, and it's just full of hate and not reality. And people that stand up against a certain person who thinks he's the wonderful God of Otter Creek. You know, he's so wrong. He is so wrong on so many levels. Let's see some of the other comments I've seen on here about Otter Creek. They all was saying about the signs, signs, signs. We got proof that she wrote the signs. One of the number one expert did an analysis. It wasn't her, and he said who it was. Does that mean in court he'll go to court? He said he would, but none of that's decided yet on either side. And his expert was expert witness to that sign deal was a student of this guy's son. So uh, go figure. And when and people believe the lies that come out. That's the bad part. People get on here, and this one guy, whatever he says is gospel. He'll take something out of a text or whatever and show it, but he shows it to his advantage, like he did with Guapo, nothing before, nothing after, to make it sound different. Guess what? Even when you do that, you're lying. When you do stuff like that, that's lying. Some people may, in my opinion, some people may say it's a fib, but a fib's still a lie. Him and some of the people that he's jumped on board with him, and they jumped on board for views and money, obviously. Everybody wants to earn money. Don't get me wrong there. If they want to go out and do it, do it. But there's ethics, and the people out there, he's got to join him, don't have very much ethics, in my opinion. That don't mean everything they say is a lie. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes ethics take a back seat to dollar signs. Now, I've been accused even the other day on here, or yesterday it was, I guess, that I'm here to make money and clicks and views. Guess what? Everybody on here is doing that for that. You know what? Because I mostly do shorts. I'm by far short on hours to even get monetized, and I haven't decided whether I would or not. So I'm on here just to do this. And I know another person on here that could be monetized if he wanted to, does not. So your idea of everybody's on here to get money, they're not. There are some that do it and some that succeed at it. But remember, controversy is what'll get you more money than being decent and honest. And it does. Just look around you. Wrestling, same way. If it wasn't controversy, they wouldn't be making money. You can get people to follow you, and they can be smart, dumb, or in between. And I'm not calling anybody any of them. But it don't matter in the fact that you can get them to follow you and believe everything you say, and that happens. For whatever reason, when you're a slick talker, you can get people to follow you. It don't matter. But sometimes you got to have a little bit of ethics too. And some of these people following this other guy has no ethics. They don't even want, they'll go off of what he says instead of looking at the real facts. And yeah, I know some of these Facebooks out there, channels are a joke and are made to be a joke, so you can't always listen to them. But when they go directly after somebody and they're false accusations, here's the difference between this guy and others. Somebody do a false accusation against him, I'll sue him. I'm going to sue him. And if he or his minions do that, it is okay. Are you guys really so stupid you can't figure that out? But trying to justify what he is doing as right, another person doing the same thing is wrong. It's either both right or both wrong. There is no in between here. And if you are making excuses for him when he is doing wrong, and I see comments all the time on here, they do that. Well, and they don't get it. If he goes down on anything, he will throw them under the bus. His girlfriend, he's already said she does the thumbnails, so he's trying to protect himself and sacrifice somebody else, obviously, in my opinion. And I'm going to tell you this again and again. I've never said I hated this person. I disagree and despise his actions, and that is a big difference. And this guy also is kind of phony using Christianity when it's really not what he's doing. And that can be proven. But most people in that town are good people. I don't care if they agree with me or not. There are good people around that town. And a lot of them don't like this person. Some do. That's like any individual in the world, though. You know, you get some like you and some don't. But because they don't like you, you don't have to go after them and threaten them. You're a lowlife when you do that because you disagree with them. You're supposed to agree with him and follow him to the death's end. And if he gets in trouble, he will sacrifice you. That's in my opinion. And that's what a lot of narcissists will do. It's just not in Otter Creek, it's all over this country. That's what they do. Am I calling this person a narcissist? Not really, in the fact that his actions tend to be that way on film. If it's not, well, then he needs to clarify it. Otherwise, people will still say he's a narcissist. I'm not calling him that. I'm going on with what has come out the way it comes out. And I don't care if I like a person or dislike them. Sometimes we all say things that isn't quite right. Not because our intent was good, but there's kind of a little gray area there sometimes that we cross not meaning to and have to correct ourselves. See, I will say I'm 100% not perfect. I'm not this great angel. I'm nothing like that. I'm a human being that works to get better. And I'm not perfect. Neither is anybody in Otter Creek or anywhere else. And I've said this too before. The only reason that Otter Creek caught my eye, well, there's two reasons. I have a sister that lives a couple of miles from there that I haven't seen in years because I live clear across the country in the United States, but clear across the country. And the other thing was because I watched him do storage auctions, and when he said that, it caught my eye. When he started trashing people in that town, that also caught my eye because I'm from a small area and I don't care how long you've been away from there, you will catch the attention of people that live in areas like that. You know, it's sad people have to do that. It's sad people have to troll. I joke about being a troll in a mall, which I'm not, but I'll get on certain sites and say it, and they think it's funny, and they know it's not true. But when we decide in life we don't have to listen to advice that may improve us, we are actually in the wrong because everybody can improve. Yeah, this certain person in Otter Creek don't think he has to. People that are trashing Lynette and her family are so wrong. Another thing that come out was, well, we're protecting her. The people out here is protecting her from a trashy situation, which this person again proved that he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He doesn't. He hasn't been on that property, so he don't know. I haven't been there, but when you have 27 CPS times going to that property, that is going stick in that child's head. And most of them, you might have had one or two, maybe a question on, but for the most part, they knew what they was doing was wrong and did it anyway. Psychologically, you're hurting that child. You are putting things in that child's head that will grow up with her. You're not there to hurt her, but you're hurting her. It, People are using that child to go after Lynette and John. They are hurting the child more than Lynette and John. So don't give me this crap you're out there trying to protect that little girl because you're not. You're using her to go after parents, which means in an indirect way you're abusing that child because you're putting crap into her head that will be there when she grows up. And that's shame on every one of you to doing that. Shame on you using her for your own content like that. I mean, it's one thing to recognize somebody. That's all well and fine. But remember, this person also said that Harley could not talk, which was proven a lie. He has told lies out to other people. They have to take care of that because it hasn't been me. But when you go after a child for your own personal gain, and I don't care if the minions and his followers agree with it, when you go after that child for personal gain, that is wrong. And I'm amazed how many people will stand up and defend him for what he has been doing. I don't know how come they can't see it, but it's out there in the open. And once again, I'm telling you, I don't dislike the guy. I dislike his attitude towards what he is doing, not him as a human being. See, I was never raised to be vindictive. And remember, I told you, none of us has ever been to prison. A couple of my brothers have been in jail for a day or two. I've never been arrested or even close. But, you go out there, you look around, you see what's happening. And like I said, it's just a minute few that's causing problems. And some of the problems are being farmed out to other minions he has. So he don't get in trouble. And they don't get it. They're going to go down, and he is not going to protect them. But most people in that town are good people. It seems like a really nice area to be in. At the Christmas party, the people were happy and joyful. Then here's another thing I got to laugh at. I don't remember whose channel I seen it on. They were saying, well, the gifts don't change anything and all this stuff. If the gifts don't change anything, why was there ever a Christmas in the creek? Oh, it depends on who it is. That's right. I forgot. But nobody has to go through or should have to go through with what that family in Otter Creek has had to go through. Do I believe they're perfect? Hell no. Do I believe I'm perfect? Hell no. A good example of that is, there was a question, John is abusive or whatever. He drinks and all this stuff, which he admitted he done, and he's not doing it now. I've been in a situation growing up. For a couple of months of the year, the sheep herder, we had, or the guy had sheep and cattle, but the sheep herder would come back and it'd take him a month, I don't know, probably 4 to 6 weeks before he went out again. He'd come back so drunk, and I mean, there was no being around him. He was not a violent person. Some people get violent. He was just so annoying in that I would avoid him as a child. I was his best buddy when he was sober. And John has realized stuff like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. And people criticize him for doing what he's doing. What the hell? He's taken a step forward, and there's people out there knocking him because he was a drunk and all that. He's moving forward. I've been around people, and I've talked to people that's been in addiction. Most of you have no clue. That's right, you don't. Some of you do, some don't. I'm so happy that he took that step and is improving his own life, which does improve Harley's and Lynette's life. And that's a plus. People should be out there saying, good job, John. We appreciate the step you took forward. It's his decision to take the step forward, obviously, and he did. And he doesn't need to be criticized for going forward like other people are doing. Another thing this guy does, and it's so stupid, his son, on his own, come on to a couple of channels and to vent. He wasn't really criticizing his dad to the end of the world. Vent what was going on, and even his therapist said it was good. Uh, Personally, I think he's shown he's a better man than his dad, but people got on here and criticized people for exploiting him. He come on his own. And yet these same people spewing that out of their mouths are willing to exploit a young child. How dare you criticize an adult for saying what he wanted to say and say people are extorting him? Well, you guys are doing the exact same thing to a minor. One's an adult, one's a minor. I just appreciate. I do. I don't know him. I've only seen him, I think, on 2 interviews. But I appreciate him coming out and helping himself. He needed to do that. You may never hear from him again, but needed to do that. That is what you call a real man. He wasn't making excuses for what happened. He was informing what went on to a point. Some of the stuff is family stuff and shouldn't be coming out. If they need to handle it, it shouldn't come out on YouTube. But I was just making an example there of how you guys think one is okay and one is not. Where one's an adult, that should be okay. That was his choice. Where it was that underage child, she had no choice in it. You people going out and saying what you did, that was your choice. It was a wrong choice. So, yeah, and I just want to get on what people have said on mine. And like I said, it isn't very bad. But I feel sorry for the people that have to put up with all the crap that comes out and lies on their channel just to make money. Well, excuse me, they're making these other channels make indirect money off these others because they will criticize them, and sometimes they're pretty much on step with one another, not because they know each other, but the information's come from one person. For the most part, they're not all there doing taking one guy's opinion, but they're all taking the opinion of similarities from all the ones they do. And a lot of these guys out there, all it is they hate themselves. They've refused to admit it. But when you go out there, trash minors, and you trash people because you hate them, and you will sacrifice others to get to the person you hate, you are a low life. I don't care whether you're male or female, you are a low life. Start going down the right path. And I appreciate everybody that'll listen to this. Let people know it's out there. Thanks a lot, and until next time.